everyone, and welcome back to the Aurora Isles series, or originally named the Stellar Survival series, where in the last episode we built these massive redwood trees here at the dam/volcano area, and it is starting to come together. But we are going to actually take a little break from this area for the moment because we have actually done 2 episodes on this area, and I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that we have been doing on stream over on the Twitch streams. So let's just show you guys that now. And here we are in the nether, which it does look a little different to most people's nethers, I will admit. But you can see that there is the nether roof gone, and we have got a flat nether floor here. So something that we have added to our world is Yeeterite. So here it is. Here is the Yeeterite pickaxe. As you can see, it does have a lot of durability, and it's got a little bit of a different color. So basically what this pick allows us to do is insta-mine bedrock. So if I just go along here, we can sprint with the use of a beacon, and we can just mine through the bedrock with like it is butter. It is very easy to do now, but it did come at a cost. It was expensive to make this pick. So how do we make a Yeeterite ingot, you may ask? Well, instead of an armored wither's head, you would be placing in another stone here. I didn't want to do that just in case I accidentally clicked on the ingot, because as you can see, these are blocks of netherite. So it takes 8 blocks of netherite and 1 nether star to make 1 Yeeterite ingot. Now, if we were to make a Yeeterite ingot, we need 3 of those to then make this pick here. So it takes a total of 24 blocks of netherite and 3 wither stars to make this pick. So with that in mind, and the fact that this project has already taken us probably close to a few thousand hours at this point, we have now allowed this to be insta-mineable. So it does mean that the bedrock can be insta-mined. I do understand that some people may not like this, but for the fact that we have been working on this project for such a long time, we did want to kind of speed up the process of getting rid of the roof, and this seemed like the best way to do so. And here is another change that has been happening here in our world. This is our storage room that you guys may remember. We had chests or like barrels up all against these walls, kind of like over there. But now we are adding in these little sections. Now, to future-proof this, what my considerations have been is that if we do have an eventual update of more and more wood types, we are going to basically just allow all of this stuff to be moved to this side, and then we can like move, for example, all the stairs and slabs into one, and then we can move out this back wall as well. So we do have the ability to just keep making this bigger, and for example, we could have spruce and then dark oak on this side instead of having each wood type have their own colors for now. And I think that way we can kind of future-proof it for a fair few updates, because we do want this world to last well and truly into the future, especially with how much work has gone into it so far. There is a lot more to do here today, and I still have one more thing to show you guys before we get in with the rest of the episode. And this is an area that we have not visited in a very long time. Actually, a year to almost be exact. So from when this episode comes out, this would have been here for over a year at this point. So this is our cemetery. This was the Halloween area that we did last year, and I always stated that I wanted to add a mausoleum, which you can see is now here. In last night's stream, we worked on this, and I think it worked out really well. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it kind of finally finished off our area. Now, something really cool that I kind of added was basically allowing it to look like it looked a little out of place, but as soon as we come in through the doors, you can see that it is very much got that old grimy feel. What we wanted to go for here was the original mausoleum has been kind of encased inside of what is the new one. So kind of protecting the old inside of the new and giving brand new life to this area. But if we go back through these doors and down the stairs, we come into an area that is kind of spooky, kind of creepy, and gives a very eerie vibe. I like how this area turned out. We might need to add a few cobwebs and a few other little bits and pieces, but otherwise I think this turned out really well. We have blast furnaces for the floor. This was very expensive to do, but that is all right. I love how it turned out. It looks absolutely incredible. And then we have all of these chests, which are not actually chests. These are coffins, but you guys have got to kind of view it in your own terms and kind of imagine what this is going to look like. I have a beautiful friend of mine who is working on a custom texture pack, so I can switch that on when we come into the graveyard to give a little bit more spookiness to this area. So today is Halloween, which does mean, for anyone who may not know, that we have the limited edition Halloween mobs. Basically, some of them turn up with pumpkins and jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, I believe, as well, so that we can get a whole bunch of them. So today's little quest, shall we say, is to go ahead and try and get as many of these mobs as we can. So at the moment, I have also done a little cleanup of all of the passive mobs in the area, just because there was way too many roaming around and it was kind of causing some lag issues in the world. It is nighttime and that is the first one. Let's go fly down and go nab our very first husky boy. Oh, he's just a normal husk, but that's okay. That is okay. We have a boop on that guy, and we're going to lure him into a bit of a safer place. And I'm just going to boop that there. Come on, buddy. Jump in the boat for me. That is it. Husky boy with a pumpkin head for Halloween obtained. Number 1. Let's keep going. Let's get you in a boat. That's it. Oh. All right. Yep. Oh, okay. You're another Halloween boy. Oh my goodness, there's so many Halloween boys. Okay, perfect. It is better for us to have multiples of these guys than run around and not have them at all. That's it. In the boat you are. Boop, boop, and a boop, boop. Perfect. So that is 4 of the Halloween mobs already collected. I already look like a porcupine, but it is the first night. We have got ourselves 2 husks and 2 skellies, which is pretty good. Now we want to see if we can try and get any that may also have some type of armor. All right, let's get rid of you. Oh, and your... Oh, perfect. Actually, this is another guy that we actually do need. So this is kind of perfect. Leather fully enchanted boy. Perfect. He is not fully enchanted. His boots are not enchanted, but that's okay. Let's also get you in the boat. Let's do a quick pop and get you in here. Perfect. Oh, jack-o'-lantern boy, jack-o'-lantern boy. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All right, we need to get you in a boat right now. Okay. We have 1 of the jack-o'-lantern boys now obtained. Oh, perfect. We are going to have to fix up all these little pimples that are all over our world, but that's okay. These will become very handy when we do get ourselves ready for the mob museum. Halloween has passed, and unfortunately we didn't get all the mobs. We ended up having to leave the world on Halloween. So all of the mobs that we got that day is what we ended up with. But I'm actually quite happy. It does mean that next year it gives us the opportunity to spend the whole of Halloween collecting as many mobs as we possibly can. But today we are in a new area. This is a space that I don't believe you guys would have ever seen before. This is where we're going to be making an abandoned apocalyptic city, and this is probably going to be a very, very long-term build project where we're going to just expand out to the surrounding areas. Let me give you a bit of a visual map below. All right, so here is a bit of a visual map. As you can see, this is the Trident farm here. So this big square blob at the moment. And if we scroll over a little bit, this is the kingdom for George, which I don't think I've showed in videos yet either. But this is where we have got the volcano. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a understanding as to roughly where everything is in the world. And then our spawns over here. So it is a little bit further out, but that is okay. So we're going to jump into a time lapse because this is going to be a lot of work to get this area ready and set up for you guys for us to start building. But this is where we're going to be working today. I'm going to jump into time lapse, start clearing out all these trees. We need to put in the initial building. So this is going to be the very initial building. And from there, we will work out where we're going to put like the roads and everything like that. So let's jump straight into it. So for what you guys may have only been a few seconds with me building up this big structure, for me, it has been literally a few hours now. It ended up taking about 9 shulkers worth of granite and I believe about 4 shulkers worth of stone to create the first building here, which is eventually going to be our abandoned village or apocalyptic village. This took way longer than what I was expecting. Those for the 5 and the 5 and the 5 or 3 at the top, they are, well, a little bit of a crash landing there. But that was intentional. I wanted to kind of give a bit of a thicker lines up as we went up. So just to give it a bit more dimension. I think it actually worked out really well. Okay, Stell. All right, let's stop falling over everything. Now, the next part of this is to add tinted glass into the build itself, at least around the area in which the Trident boys spawn. So I don't know if I actually mentioned this at the start of the episode, but as you may have seen from the time lapse, this is a Trident / copper farm. They spawn in with the 0 light level and they fall down. If we leave this open, it's not going to be as efficient as what it could be. Let's just throw that egg. It's probably going to put a chicken down there. And that's a little bit of an issue because we want this farm to be as efficient as it can possibly be. So what we need to do is actually add in tinted glass all around the top of this edge so it becomes a 0 light level and we won't have any issues then. The next part of that is we're going to be adding in a massive glass structure or maybe like a stone slab structure so that we can get as many items in or as much space in here that we can kind of walk around on, and then we need to expand out the storage. But for the moment, I'm going to go get some tinted glass to finish off the windows, and then we may have to wrap it up for here, unfortunately, for today. But we did get a lot done in the last part of the episode. I know it doesn't feel like we got a heap done, but when you kind of look at this is huge. I believe the top of the tower sits at about 260. Here we go, about 268. This structure now sits at. So it's not too bad, but a lot of resources when you start kind of looking at it on a grander scale. But let's go get the tinted glass and we'll be back. Well, it happened. I assumed at some point I would unfortunately succumb to a creeper, and it did actually happen. I was placing down some wall blocks and a creeper decided to blow me up. Thankfully, I believe I should have everything here anyway. Oh, my stuff's gone everywhere. Oh my goodness. Quite possibly the rest of my stuff would be down the bottom. Geez, Stells. Most of the section has been done, so the top section has been completely encased, and then I'm starting to work my way down, which was what was happening when the creeper decided to blow me up because I was in the same hitbox as them. So that kind of sucks, but that is life, unfortunately. Let's put our pants and our helmet back on. And Mr. Fish head over there made sure to look after our gear for us. Thank you very much, Mr. Fish. There's some rockets. I think my stuff has just gone everywhere. Indeed it has. Oh my goodness. My bits are sprayed everywhere. And I think that's it. Well, unfortunately, these things do tend to happen. It sucks, but we will have to go up and heal up some of this. But I wanted to check in with you guys anyway. So we've done the top section. The mob spawning section is completely done. And I was working my way down. So I don't think I've actually got enough wool because I'm using wool at the moment. But I'm going to work my way all the way down to this section here. And then we're going to do something a little bit more fancy with this bottom section. But for the moment, I've got to keep working my way down. And here we are. We have officially finished one half of the building. We don't need to talk about the back. It'll get done, I promise. But as you can see, we have got this first layer done now, which is looking really cool. And I do like the little pop of color that the bricks give off, especially with the fact that there is similar color tone to the granite. So that was something that I did add in. I wanted a few stripes before we kind of got into the glass section above. This is meant to emulate glass. There will be a little bit of a pattern later on. But at the moment, I just wanted to get in the basic structure first. So if we do come around the side, you can see the first couple of layers are done, but we've got a very holy building in the back. So yeah, it needs a bit of work, but that's fine. And then we come into the inside where I have started already getting ready. We've got the floor down and I've started building up what is going to be a elevator shaft. So there is going to be a soul sand water elevator back here where we get shot up to the top and to the section or platform where we hit the trident boys and we get the drops. So that is what I'm working on at the moment. But unfortunately, this is where we have to wrap up the end of the episode because this has been a mega task. I think about 20 to 30 hours worth of work has gone into this already, and we are nowhere near finished yet. We're also not finished over at the volcano/dam area, and that'll be in the next episode. But with that, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching the video to the very end. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want to watch the rest of the series, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.